LGD looking for something a bit more pickup oriented so far. No B master bans. Once it feels like Beast has been dropping off so far throughout this turn.
That's true. I think that it's worth noting as we get into this that like ET, I think, is the predominant hero now in China. I would say we've seen him first round picked every time that he's been available, if I'm not mistaken. Terrorblade obviously still a really strong hero as well, and a couple of the teams, VG Gaming as well as VG Gaming Reborn, run that Drow. But in this context, I feel like this is a really great hero for this lineup, and they are going to pick up the Drow themselves. Not wanting to have to face up against that, and going to take the Oracle out of the hands of Newbee. One last little piece of background information on these things before we get too far into is I think that everybody is aware, but this could very easily be like a TI6 Grand Finals matchup. And depending on how these teams end up going, like you could have. We've been seeing the dominance of China in this tournament so far. It's really worth keeping your eyes on, particularly Newbee and LGD, and how they play this out, because it's going to give some insight into, also I would imagine, for some Western teams, how they deal with them going into TI.
LGD's turn
Exactly. And LGD is Xiao as a draft in general, usually one step ahead of the curve, but in this case, Sep is the one taking up the draft, so this is a bit unique. How he's doing it, but maybe giving his input,
10 seconds
time they could be experimenting plans. But so far, I have to say, like, observing how Sep plays, this is how I'm quite impressed in so far, which we have seen from LGD side.
Reserve time.
Not, we remember back, I think, Major, where we were just on a streak, was the epicenter, and we are back to this without the Venge himself. So instead of way, especially since Venge on either one of his teams, and Bat Rider, and helps amplify a bit of the damage more for the Terrorblade, so they can get something a bit more push. I see that 1-4-4 skill coming out in the VS to will be that one LGD.
Yeah, that feels pretty good to me. I like the hero pickup in general. It's kind of a better answer against the Bat Rider. I personally think the Vengeful Spirit's a better answer to the Bat Rider than the Oracle, because Oracle really sort of keeps you stuck into a certain style of Dota 2 that you need to play, where you have to play, around a single strong crazy hero like a Huskar or a DP or something like that. Whereas if you have Vengeful Spirit, that just augments all the damage that's already coming around. So I like it so far. The only other thing that we could potentially that comes as the Disruptor's also going to be placed is maybe something to deal a little bit more damage towards the mid game. I'm curious what they end up sticking in the mid lane for Newbee. We haven't seen an Invoker as of yet. I wouldn't mind seeing a Moo Invoker.
It's true. Invoker hasn't even been banned. He's banned like maybe once or twice yesterday, but we haven't seen him pick up at all, even though he's been in the pool. These teams are just effort play so much, like a Timbersaw mid, maybe Rana. The other spirit pick from Newbee. I was actually thinking whether they would go for Dazzle. They have Terrorblade and Death. Terrorblade Dazzle, you get Grave so that he lives long enough to get the Sunder off, but yeah, Perfect Faith looks like they will just go back for the Bullet Bridge. We should see him like rotating around the mid quite often.
Yeah, Vengeful Spirit should be able to provide enough support there to help out the Terrorblade against the Bat Rider. We have occasionally seen the Elder Titan Bat Rider dual offlane, which can be a little bit much to deal with, but if you pop in Morphosis, Spirit can kind of rotate between those two lanes, and Faceless Void certainly is going to be fine. So what I'd like to see out of Newbee here is either A, go back for a DP, or B, go for something else like an Invoker, anything that can find kills. Because that's part of the reason that you're going to want to take this, or always at least be threatening that lane and what could come of it. But it's going to end up being, at least now, an aggressive Slark. This is a guy that's been able to make really good plays with this hero across his career, I feel like. Always just been such a dynamic player with this, and we'll see how it ends up going.
One more thing on the side so far is that Bat Rider can be played by Maybe, and that gives Xiao another hero like the Darkseer, which is potentially why they banned out the Oracle.
LGD's turn to ban.
Ban out the Emperor.
Because, we remember yesterday where the Oracle played against Darkseer Fortunes and just debuffing the Ion Shells, and Slark had such an awesome lane. Darkseer had no impact at all.
Well, they're going to take out that P that I was talking about, and then take Invoker for themselves. Those are both the heroes that I felt like would have been really solid, and giving away the maybe Invoker, very bold indeed by Newbee. I would imagine that's such a great combo, right? Like taking out the DP and taking the Invoker for themselves. What's left? Maybe Puck or for Moo. What else could they run?
5 seconds remaining.
Oh,
Puck is okay-ish.
you could go Jug. I think
Dragon Knight is still available as well.
Or PL. PL is also a decent option here. I actually really like PL if they could end up going for that. Is there enough to say deal with them? It's a little bit old school. It doesn't come incredibly well with the Faceless Void. I'm kind of leaning towards one of the like heroes, either a Jug or a PL.
But Newbee, they could do a bit more push. They would adjust pretty well, but they would go.
If you're having some trouble, okay. Okay, if you do end up having some trouble, we could potentially switch it back over and see if mine is. We'll give you guys the highest quality stream experience possible. I want to make sure that everybody can see the game in wonderful clarity. But yeah, Newbee LGD game number 1 of the best of 3 series. Looks like LGD are just getting their last couple of players into the game. Worth noting that we've got both on these teams the up-and-coming players, I would say. You've got KD on the side of Newbee, who's been really effective recently. Kaka also relatively newish. I mean, I don't know if he's new at this point. And then on the side of LGD, September, who was previously at the Shanghai Major qualifiers on a team with Nono and Victoria from CDEC Youth, and they were part of a lineup that almost upset Newbee way back when. So kind of an interesting little dynamic there. They did also get picked up, or rather September got picked up by LGD in the big reshuffle that followed Shanghai. So kind of the interconnectedness that happens in the Chinese scene. It's good stuff. That's the way to go if they're capable of making that happen, and we'll see indeed if they can get it. Let me know if you're lagging. It looks like I don't have a ton of lag right now on this setup, so if we need to, we can switch it out. But Kaka moving along this top lane, and he's going to run into Zhao 8 as he thinks about placing a ward, but not going to do it. You love to see it. Wait, is this the new one? Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's a little bit funny when it happens. You got to become an Invoker player. That's the real dream. When we see the Observer Ward, those drop down and also a couple of things come out, realizing that there is a ward placed over on the high ground here, and that is going to be blocking out the whole camp for a moment, but they should be able to take that one in just a second. Destructor thinking about dropping the ward, and they are going to be able to take that one out. So they only get a secondary, not the biggest deal in the world. KP time walks aggressive in that direction.
The battle begins.
The Red are able to pick up the bounty rune, as does the Timber Saw. Have taken a decent chunk of damage. He needs to be careful right here. Zhao Wei is able to run him down a little bit more. They could potentially even find a kill if he's not careful. This is a lot of damage already expended. He has a salve that's there, and the roll forward by Kaka is going to keep Zhao Wei back for the moment. The one plus side is that they're with not very high HP regen rather rapidly and just rely upon that, or at least for now. But yeah, I think this lane in the world. I feel like the Batrider Venge. Kaka can rotate around the 2-minute mark to go and secure Rune, but at least it's going to be maybe move pretty much their own devices in the mid lane. Oh my god. First blood. Going away of How, doing what he needs to do. Level 2 and the Metamorphosis down. It's going to be fine to do it. I have a feeling that pretty soon here, that might need to start thinking about leaving that lane, or at least just playing it a little bit more close to the chest. Mu is just bowling made here in the mid lane. Already doing a nice little bit of damage. It's just not at all afraid. 2 points in reactive armor just gives him a ridiculous amount of generation. We're still seeing KD being somewhat found out by September. Trading his the best of his ability, like 20 experience away from getting that level 2 himself.
Gotcha!
This is some nice stuff. Kaka, level 2 himself, is on the base this warrior. This is what I was talking about in the previous series when Newbee were playing against VT Gaming Reborn. They were not doing this type of thing. The rotation with Kaka and getting the ward behind the tier 1 tower in the offlane to try and put themselves in a to find a kill. Maybe need to be somewhat careful. Mu has all those stacks of reactive armor, and with 2 points in Whirling Death and that Earth Spirit being in the area, they could definitely roll and try and find a kill, and might even be going for it. There's the stun. A little bit of miscommunication between him and Mu, but still trading it. Mu is just so deadly. Oh my god. Yeah, that's devastating. Kaka's taking a couple right clicks here for Zhao Wei, who's moved in, but Mook just keep on running him down as well. Whirling Death is a pretty good spell. I do really like the constant pulling that's coming out as well from the Newbee side, so now that they do have an Aquila up and online, they can think about even pressuring this tower if they wanted to. They're going to have a double creep wave here, and if we start turning it on, yeah, they're going to try to go for a push here. This is going to be rather effective, I feel like, and if one wants to go for the wave of air and just try and keep this lane pushed out, they are maybe even to the tower of Metamorphosis.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the Kaka Earth Spirit right there, and that's what I was talking about earlier as well. This was the play they were not doing in the series against VT Gaming Reborn. Kaka's not roaming in to get that ward down. Because of that, put them in a much less strong position. A little bit scary now. They actually messed up the push a little bit. They got to the pull, and now they're losing a couple of illusions. They're going to have to clear out this large creep camp first. Meanwhile, Oakford and Kaka runs into Zhao and throws the stuns. They're just going to give him a little walk away. Looks like with that, they're going to be good to go. God.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Look at this. Look at the last hits on the Terrorblade. Sitting at 45 and 14. The Slark is at 27 on the other side. How is ridiculously farmed already? This is going to be so difficult to deal with. They roll in towards the mid game and going to try and take down. Maybe there's the combo. He drops the meteor, but it's not nearly enough to achieve him there. They are going to be able to get this tower tonight, though, as September looking for it, and yeah, no illusions are going to be able to get there in time. A great start. Wow, a 3,000 gold lead already at 6 minutes in the game. Newbee are just dominant, and it's mainly coming off the back of this Terrorblade. Like, net worth normally doesn't matter at 6 minutes, but they're actually going to come on in here and maybe try and roll in onto Zhao Wei, stunned up for the moment. Who throws out the Chakram is going to be able to connect now. Hal comes in for maybe a final kill. Actually not going to be able to. He heads off the other direction. But currently, Terrorblade is sitting at 3,600 net worth, and you compare that to the Slark's 1,000 gold and a bit over the top of him. And Mu also now is going to be able to finish off this stack here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, they've got a lot of different ways. I guess the early one for him feels like he wants to be active early, but I don't know if it's going to even end up being enough. September has been in, so you can get a stomp off. I just feel like you've given this Terrorblade so much room. 63 hits at 7 minutes. He's going to have a Dragon Lance soon. And I just feel like they're not going to be prepared for this push that's coming out. Like, maybe is trying to go back now for this Quas Wex, having already gotten to that early point to, or rather Quas Exort to get the damage, but I don't know. This is scary as heck.
I've seen this in my dream. You've been disrupted.
That's gonna be able to find that one pretty quickly and pretty easily. I guess the bit here is that if you have this maybe Invoker's you know, build into the carry and get a Hand of Midas up and on. Oftentimes to deal with a terrible, I feel like we end up seeing the Quas Wex Invoker that's just there to hold the line and make sure that they don't lose all of their towers. I don't think that they're going to be capable of stopping this Newbee push that's going to happen. You see already, they're going to wrap around, and this should, misses the roll in, and September's going to die. Like, they can't stop this. Terrorblade is just too farmed already, and they can just run at him to Mu being able to soak up the tower.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, Zhao ended up going down to the Timbersaw on the other side of that fight, but more importantly, it's just more and more farm for Hao. I don't know if it really ends up mattering though. Like, if they lose Tron here, that's not the worst thing in the world. The swap away, September is still there. It doesn't change the status quo. This Hao Terrorblade is just so terrifying, and I mean, you've still got the, like, this is all before KP jumps in with this Crowsphere. I'm really concerned about LGD and their ability to hold this off. They've got the ways to make it happen, but I don't know, I guess it's just good execution in the team fights to come. Yeah. I think so. They've got a follow-up stun if they need to use it. Oh, maybe not actually. Alright, well, he is going to run into move, which is a little bit scary. Aggressive just being hemmed to run. They don't quite get the kick either. The swap on the other side, they're going to pull in Zhao Wei. He might end up going down himself. They do have the Timbersaw kill off the Slark, and like, this is the thing though. You've got these heroes that do so much damage at this stage in the game. And Zhao Wei just trying to create whatever space is possible, but how is he going to find him, possibly? Don't, still heading off towards the secret shop. There's a jump forward and finds the kill.
Flight is a gift you do not deserve, Batrider.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And he's, what is this, 1,800 or 1,600 gold up on the Slark right now. Granted, there's to find a kill onto him. If this Invoker is capable of hitting like a pretty good, I guess, Meteor combo at this point after a sleep with the Sunstrike, that's kind of the dream. It is possible to happen, but
Dire's top tower is
I
under
feel like
attack.
Newbee has been reacting well all game long. And the only person that's showing up here in the top lane is going to be KP on the faceless big wall. Cloud continues to hit his towers. There's just the bonding. Like, they want to try and take the towers of their own, that way they're capable of trading off, but if you look at what the rest of the side of Newbee is doing while this is all happening, they're like farming, getting wards down. LGD have the capabilities to make this work and turn it back around, but it's just very difficult.
Has fallen.
Ooh, this is scary. They've got an Indus rune on Mu, and on top of Zhao Wei, a quick and easy kill. He's almost his Bloodstone, like the the whole time. How is just continuing to push along the bottom lane. They're getting lucky, and they're also making good decisions. And that's a scary combo when you've got a lineup that's about snowballing like Newbee's is. Oh my god. Aggressive. Holy hell. I'm trying not to be like unbiased towards Newbee, but they're just so completely controlling this game right now. And they are going to maybe go a little bit of a scary position as they are to catch on to Hal. A lot of trouble, and he is finally going to go down. So this is what they need desperately. And LGD responds. Very nicely played. The Chronosphere is going to catch on to two. Really good stuff coming through, and maybe, man, can they build him off? It's not quite there, and the damage he is going to be able to find it. Slark ends up being able to take down the Faceless Void. The stomp out on top of Mu. He needs to get out of there, but can turn if he wants to. This could be a lot of damage. Is just going to Timber Chain away. My goodness. They do end up getting the glimpse back, but oh, not going to be able to get the chains out. So he is probably going to fall here. And suddenly, LGD do take the fight that they need. No.
What have we here?
Haste.
Oh, Chuan looking. Zhao Wei. There's going to be the roll in and magnetize out as well. They find a quick pick off. Not bad at all. The haste rune. Aggressive is in the area. Needs to be a little bit careful. They do have. Oh, Chuan's just going to run away. He doesn't want to anymore. Nice kick, roll, and oh! Alright, he gets taken out. It would have been there, but unfortunately, Colt has a pretty good spell. I mean, essentially what that boils down to, though, if you think about it, is a trade of the Earth Spirit for the Bat Rider. That's kind of what that ends up looking like. And still very worth it, particularly as they were able to pick off Bat Rider before he got his Blink Daggers. That slows down the timing pretty well. This is the play right now. They've got a really good advantage. And I'm checking Roshan to make sure that nobody... They actually go for this? Alright, Sunstrike's going to be on cooldown. It's great timing for them. Newbee just going to be able to take down Roshan, and LGD are not going to realize that this is happening. A little bit unfortunate, and if they sneak this, this would be huge. Like, this fits perfectly. Yeah, Roche direction, and it looks like it's going away terribly. He drops his Quelling Blade, and now it's time to push. 8,400 gold on this guy, and he's getting real close to picking up a Manta.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, Shadowblade aggressive. He runs in, finds Chuan, Sunstrike as well, and that is going to be a kill. Maybe a little bit of a overextension though. Who throws it out? They do have a Chronosphere if they want to use it. Drops it down onto his head. Aggressive is gonna with that, and meanwhile over on the other side, Zhao Wei control for the moment. A really good team fight here, and they are gonna be able to find that kill. Timber trying to save his buddies, but just lose this. Can't end up being able to take out so close. Indeed, and with that, they're going to be able to take the best there, but worth it for Newbee. And Terrorblade now actually has enough for his Manta style. He wants to go back for that. Do you think there's a value in like going just for straight Scotty after the Asha? Oh my god. He is so rapidly. And again, it feels like Newbee is out executing LGD right here. They are not necessarily like a crazy great draft advantage. They just are moving across the map in pairs in a really good way. Whoa. How picks up the BKB? So goes Dragonlance Yasha BKB. He wants to fight. They're actually planning on trying to take high ground very rapidly here. Alright, well, the smoke goes out. LGD is spotted in the mid lane. The person that's going to be up on center, aggressive silence as well. Oh, that was really well played by Kaka. That Earth Spirit play right there was able to get the silence while he was rolling in. Drop low though, not going to be able to get brought down. KP sold for the moment. Can they find this kill? Move is doing a lot in the midst of all of this. They do end up being able to find him, but meanwhile, the last couple right clicks come through for the Terrorblade. Find the kill. BKB still not popped. 10 seconds available if they want it. they only kill off KP. He already used that Chronos here. But the Kaka Earth Spirit play, the roll into dropping the boulder in front of him and getting the silence onto the Slark before he even hit him, that was just so well played.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They don't have any buybacks. They don't have any way to stop this. Even if the Batrider is up, they're just going to be able to take down this tower. Metamorphosis is going to end up falling. So they're going to do a little bit of damage to the range barracks. There's the glyph back. He still does have Aegis available and can get swapped out. Nicely played. Oh my god. Aggressive. A very sad spark indeed. Chuan now is in a little bit of trouble dealing damage. Never mind. Oh, the Batrider is gone. And if they want to, they could potentially re-engage. They actually didn't burn through the Aegis on that one. Chuan is going to go down. So somebody at least is going back way of LGD. But still, this is such a difficult game. Yeah, and I mean, the blink on the Terror saw already, it just means that they're going to be so mobile and capable of continuing to chase down LGD squad. I feel like the thing that's nuts to me, this is the team LGD that got 6th at a major, 6th at Vanilla Major, and Newbee are just running circles around them. It's not even just the net worth lead, it's not even the tower discrepancy, it feels like every team fight's execution is so clean by Newbee.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And they're comfortable going now, apparently. They're at least pushing down this creep wave, but nobody is coming back to defend. Alright, they're gonna back. Alright, that was a little... Oh, actually break the TPs of all of them. So maybe now Newbee... They just think about going. They're gonna have a creep wave. They are not very afraid as the Metamorphosis is often starting to take down the range barracks. Tornado as well as the Meteor is going to be dropped, taking a lot of damage. Still have Sunder available and swapped out for the moment. That's going to end up being the Sunstrike. Glimpse back, goes to the BKB. They're going to be doing a lot of damage as well. Can they find the kill? Ow. A very impressive specimen. Quick damage. Now wait, pulls back. There's Chronos here. That's into it, and he is not going to jump in completely. Move silent for a moment, but still find Magnetize. Realize they already pulled off the Terror Blade. Boom might go down as well. They didn't get the melee barracks. Kaka needs to throw back something to try to keep the rest of his buddies alive. Reapplying the Magnetize again. It's going to do a lot of damage in the midst of the fight, but at the end of the day, I think with the Sunstrike coming through, Newbee might have overstepped their bounds a little bit. Oh wait, never mind, jump back in and they actually are going to be able to take down the barracks regardless.
Time grinds even mountains to dust. They're the last you hear.
That was pretty well played. I mean, it was about the best that you could hope given the really terrible situation. That being said, at 24 minutes into the game, lane of barracks already down is a real problem, and they need to figure out a way to mitigate all of this damage that's coming in, because it does feel like the next time Terrorblade is going to go high ground, they're not going to have any great answer for it. Oh god. This is a real problem. They are going to get the Yule Scepter, keeping them alive. Still going for the Timber Chain Forge, trying to find the kill. Chakram not going to connect, but He is available before we find the kill. Well played, Deed. It seems like it could be solid. I do feel like at this point in time, all of the answers that they've got for this Slark is, it wouldn't have really mattered what it was that he went for. They're just so far ahead already, and the Chronosphere is the perfect complement to everything else that they've got. BKB now up for Timbersaw. They want to.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, they have a pretty good idea of what it is that's going on here. Zhao can still look for something eventually if... I mean, obviously next Roshan is going to be a be-all, end-all for both teams. I feel like Newbee are still in a position where they can afford to give up one, but probably not two. Slark late game with an Invoker is still not something that they want to contend with. Like with that smoke, they run into the ET Spirit, they will put themselves, but getting broken, aggressive, he's been found out, moves the Zhao trying to pull him back. Already the Slark is dead, and now there's Splitter going through, it's not going to be enough damage. Zhao jumped upon and right-clicked down. 2 cores already killed, and now looking for a little bit more, maybe is going to maybe get out, but no, he's dead. They've been able to find him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structure is fortified. Radiant's
LGD just getting rolled over there, and it felt like it started at the beginning, seeing how free that he needed on the Terrorblade, and it's led to this moment where after taking that, I mean, granted, there's been a couple of unlucky things as well coming out from LGD. There was the Invis rune on Moo that allowed him to get the first couple of Bloodstone charges. There was also the Sunstrike that was hitting Roshan right before Newbee walked in with the smoke, and because of that, they were able to get there in 10. But regardless, Newbee's been playing a really great game of Dota 2. Yes, it's just not been the way that they've obviously wanted to approach the draft, and it hasn't worked out what they were hoping it to do. I'm just starting to think, like, moving into game number 2, do you need to start... Well, alright, game is not over yet. Aggressor here is going to be looking for a pick-off, and if they can translate that into something, like we were talking about, Silver Edge taking out the armor, there's the jump in from Moo, just clearing the creep wave, but all of LGD is here. If they can find a pick, sometimes you can sort of build off of that and turn this into something else later. Moo and Zhao very close to each other. Oh, again, they've been able to find him, and actually it's not going to translate into anything else. KP jumped upon, they do have that Sunstrike that's going to be come out. Oh, nice swap. Juan keeping his buddy alive. Aggressive is going to get brought down, How just does too much damage, and they don't have anything else to follow this up. They drop the static storm, and MMY is not going to catch KP. The move just goes out the Chakraman, found him again, and trying to get the Ice Wall to keep everybody at bay, but Xiaowei is going to be controlled. They pop the BKB, so the Deafening Blast does not even matter. 3 already dead, and G gets called as Newbee again in convincing fashion down LGD. I mean, it's sort of a frustrating situation. You look at this, and obviously they're all very talented players. We were talking about it earlier. It's like you have these players that are so unbelievably better than, you know, you or I or anybody else that pretends to play. I'm a 3K scrub, so it doesn't even really matter all that much. But you can see that it's just the teamwork that comes from Newbee. It's not even so much like the Dota play, but everybody on the same page and making moves around the map at the same time. I don't know. I'm feeling like Newbee here is. There's a reason that everybody was calling them top 3 in the world, and they're showing it already. LGD need to make some changes here to get themselves further. So thank you guys so much for watching. That was game number 1 of Newbee versus LGD. We'll be back in just a little bit with some more NanYang. See you guys then.